Welcome back everyone to Game of the Week, a series where each week I'll be taking a niche and unpopular Roblox game and reviewing it. And if I miss a single day of uploading, this series will end. As always, the link for every game I play will be down in the description below, so if you want to go check the games out, all you gotta do is scroll down and click the first link you see in the description. But without any further dilly-dallying, this Game of the Week is... Deadly Delivery. Now, you guys know that on this channel, I usually like to make content about original games. I don't like to make content about like spin-off games or like fan games or recreations of other games or whatever the hell. Recently though, sports fans, I broke that rule, unfortunately, and I didn't even do it on purpose. I did it completely unknowingly, because a couple weeks ago, I made a video on a game called Loot the Deep, which I thought was an original game. I thought it was an original idea for an original game. You know, it was like the first of its kind and whatever, but it turns out it's not. And instead, it's a game that took very, very, very heavy inspiration from another game called Deadly Delivery. And I thought that it would be kinda unfair to make a video about Loot the Deep without making a video about Deadly Delivery as well. Especially so after finding out that Deadly Delivery was the OG. But all that exposition aside, Deadly Delivery, similarly to Loot the Deep, is a game that is kind of like the normal elevator, in a sense. They share like some passing similarities, but they aren't exactly like the same game. If you're a Roblox OG, you definitely know the normal elevator. It's a game where you would enter an elevator with a group of people that were on your server, and you would descend down and explore new randomly generated floors, which would give you like a random challenge to complete. Like, for example, there's like a floor that is like an eating contest, and you gotta like play a little mini game against other players to win the eating contest, I suppose. And then there's like another level that's like an obby, and then there's another level which is like a rip-off of Get Crushed by a Speeding Wall, and so on and so on. Basically, every level is something new and something random and something wacky, and it was a pretty interesting and fun game for its time. And Deadly Delivery takes inspiration from that concept in a sense that when you start a game, you'll be placed inside of an elevator and you will go down and explore like a bunch of different randomly generated floors. But where it differs is that instead of just exploring like completely random floors that have like no thematic tie or anything, they're just like completely random, and they all just send you on completely different adventures that are completely unrelated from each other. In Deadly Delivery, while each floor is different and looks different, has a different layout and different entities on it, you accomplish the same exact goal on pretty much every single level, which is to go out, explore the level, get as much loot as possible, return to the elevator, dump out all your loot, and go to the next floor. Of course, though, there's a catch, because to actually leave with your loot that you've collected throughout all the floors, and to actually get the money from that loot, you have to survive the onslaught of enemies on every single floor, and you have to make it back to your elevator safely, and you have to decide whether you want to go deeper and perhaps get more loot and some more money, or whether you want to just evacuate and just leave with whatever loot you have and, you know, get whatever money you manage to get. And the creatures that are chasing you around these levels are pretty damn interesting and honestly pretty damn dangerous. They can range from anything from flaming turkeys that just chase you around and peck you, to like big giant zombie dudes, to little spiked fleshy traps on the floor, to mimics that open up and try to eat you, skinwalkers that mimic other players in your lobby, to basically anything and everything that you can imagine. And all these enemies are honestly pretty unique and pretty well designed, and they're all pretty dangerous as well. Because this game only has 3 difficulties. It has like the free easy difficulty, it has like the casual difficulty, which is like the medium one, and then it has the hardcore difficulty, which is like the hard difficulty. And in my personal experience, I've only played the casual difficulty so far of this game. And even in casual difficulty, I was struggling a lot with the enemies. If you have a weapon, like a bat or something, to defend yourself with, then some of the enemies aren't really that big of an issue, like the turkeys, for example, because you can, like, whack them a couple of times and they will pretty much just leave you alone. Some enemies still are a threat, though, like, for example, the fleshy spike traps in the floor, or the mimics or whatever, or any enemy that you can't hit normally with whatever weapon you have. But if you don't have a weapon, then the game is like fucking 10 times harder, because even turkeys are gonna be up your ass constantly and you're gonna have no way to defend yourself. Your only option pretty much at that point, if you don't have anything in your hands, is just to run away. But okay, let's say that you manage to avoid all the monsters and you get your bank, you manage to find a lot of really expensive items, and you manage to escape peacefully and with your life. Well, now you can use all those riches that you acquired to buy new consumable items that will help you out in your future runs. Or, if you don't like spending your money on one-time use items, you can also buy something more permanent, like a class, for example. Or though classes are a little bit more tricky to buy, because outside of just having money, you also need to complete a certain quest in order to be able to buy each one of the classes. And each class has like a different quest that you have to complete in order to be able to spend your money to actually buy it. And these quests range from anything from just collecting a certain amount of items, to reaching a certain number of floors, to finding a certain item, to rescuing certain NPCs that are trapped down in the depths of the elevator dungeon, I suppose, to a bunch of little different quests and missions that the game will send you on. And personally, I think this is a really fun feature in the game, because I mean, the game is fun on its own, and I think that surviving all the different floors and everything is a pretty fun gameplay loop. But I feel like it would get pretty stale if there wasn't like something extra that you can do in each floor for a reward, right? Like at some point, the game would just become a money grinding simulator where you just, go in a loop, completing floors and getting money over and over and over and over again, just to get enough money to buy the next class that's on the list, and then you have to repeat the whole cycle again to buy the next class, and you repeat the cycle again to buy the next class, and so on and so on. But with these quests and missions that are tied to each character, I think that keeps the game feeling pretty fresh and pretty interesting on every new run, and it's definitely a welcome feature to the game. Outside of that, you can also spend your money on cosmetics and skins and a bunch of different little things, and even spiritual companions, whatever that means. But with that being said, fellas, that's pretty much all I have for you in this video. So, yeah, go play the game. It's pretty fun. I doubt that you'll be disappointed if you give it a try. And, let me know what you think of it down in the comments if you played it before. And with that being said, I'll see you later, and goodbye, fellas.